Welcome to Categorical's Pub Quiz. This is a very belated video for Quiz 42, which was originally posted on the 6th. It is currently Wednesday the 11th, so I am significantly behind the times, and for that I apologise. I struggle to believe that people find these randomly, but for those who do, the format is 19 questions. Question 10 will have 2 parts sharing a theme, and question 19 will have 5 parts sharing a theme. You should allow yourself around a minute per question, up to 2 minutes on the tougher ones. Without further ado, question 1. In which year, plus or minus 1, did Green Day's massively successful 7th album, American Idiot, come out? So, got to give me the year. You need to pause now if you want to think about that for longer, because obviously in the video I'm just going to go through the questions rapid fire and we'll be going through all the answers after we've gone through all the questions. Question 2. Below are the nicknames for 3 modern countries used in tourism adverts, among other things. Give the name of any one of these countries. The Land of the Thunder Dragon, the Pearl of the Orient Seas, or, only worth half a point because it's a bit easier, the Land of Fire and Ice. So we are looking for the sovereign UN members who use these nicknames as tourist bait. Question 3. There are around 650 muscles in the human body, some small and some large. For half a point only, where is the largest muscle in the body located? Or, to get the whole point, what is the name, the full name, of this largest muscle in the human body? Question 4. Answer any one of the following questions about Donald Trump's life pre-2016. First, you could tell me, in which year was he inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame Celebrity Wing? Or you could tell me, in which year did he receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame for his contribution to the television show The Apprentice? Or finally, you can name any one of the 12 films in which Donald Trump makes an appearance. I know that was the most popular one on the live version. Question 5. In the Tienanmen Square Massacre, troops with automatic rifles and tanks killed demonstrators participating in the 1989 protests in central Beijing. The US government files, declassified in 2014, and the British government files, declassified in 2017, give a similar approximation of the death toll of this event. According to these sources, how many people were killed? Is it A, 1,000, B, 3,000, C, 6,000, or D, 10,000? Question 6. In the 2010 film Inception, assuming it wasn't all a dream, by Christopher Nolan, Leonardo DiCaprio plays the lead role, a troubled thief who, with a team of 5 others, enters a man's dream to give him an idea. Name any 2 of the 6 characters, that's not the actors, the characters, from this dream team. First or last name is sufficient, and their pictures are all at the bottom. Question 7. This is a maths question, so we have solve the following system of equations for both unknowns. So there is an x and a y, and you must find both. Question 8. This is the acronyms question. The OPEC pursues stability in the oil market. The hospital was staffed by MSF doctors. They were investing heavily in BRICS economies. So to get the point here, you need to take one of those bolded acronyms and give me what it stands for. Question 9. What was the first miracle performed by Jesus in the Bible according to John, since it differs between the Gospels? Was it A, resurrection, B, curing a leper, C, water into wine, D, feeding the 5,000, E, walking on water, or F, other? Question 10. This is the 2-parter, and so for 10A, we are looking at The Adventures of Tintin, written by the Belgian author Herge, or Herge. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It has been published in more than 70 languages worldwide. Give the name of the sea captain character. The last name is sufficient, and you may answer in English, Norwegian, or French. He is shown in an ensemble of the main characters, second from left. Question 10b. The Adventures of Asterix, written by René Goscinny and Albert Uderzo, follows the adventures of the Gaul warrior Asterix in 50 BC. Give the name of the potion-brewing druid. You may answer again in English, Norwegian, or French. Question 11. The Large Hadron Collider collides hadrons. Which of the following particles is a hadron? So hadron is the category of particles. Which one of these is a hadron? Is it A, a neutron, B, a tachyon, C, an electron, D, a photon, or E, a neutrino? Question 12. Ivory Coast is an African nation dominated by the French until its independence in 1960. It was named after its principal export. In the past, there was also a Gold Coast, again named for its principal export. However, the Gold Coast changed its name in 1957 after becoming independent from the UK. What name did the former Gold Coast adopt, and indeed still use to this day? Question 13. Poison gas was used by both sides in World War I, causing 90,000 fatalities, but 1.3 million casualties. The best known gases all had one-word names. They were something gas. Give any two of the three names, and you can have half a point if you only get one. Question 14. Hong Kong was returned to China in 1997, marking for some the end of the old British Empire. Give the year in which Britain took control of Hong Kong, or give any year in which the colony was significantly expanded. So there are three acceptable answers: the initial acquisition and the two significant expansions. Question 15. This is an anagram. We are looking for a retired sports star. Not going to tell you which sport, not going to tell you what gender, not going to tell you what sport. I think I said that twice. Oops. Question 16. Which one of the following strange laws about pets is fake? The others are true. A. In Switzerland, owning a single guinea pig is forbidden by law. 2 or more is fine. In Queensland, Australia, a citizen can only own a rabbit if they are a licensed magician. Or it is officially illegal for dogs, even as pets, to enter the city limits of Reykjavik, Iceland. Question 17. What year? There's a ±1 tolerance here, so it's a bit more lenient than sometimes. But in this year, the year begins with the British Empire at its largest extent, ruling over 1 in 4 people on Earth. Later, Egypt gains nominal independence from the UK. Russia and 5 neighbours merge into the USSR. Howard Carter enters the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun. The film Nosferatu is released. The Kingdom of Hungary joins the League of Nations. Betty White, Doris Day, Judy Garland, Christopher Lee, Boutros Ghali, and Stan Lee are all born. What year? Question 18. This year featured the 2018 Winter Olympics in South Korea. Russia was not allowed to compete, although athletes from Russia were. You may give me either the number of gold medals that OAR, that is Olympic athletes from Russia, affectionately named by my family Not Russia every time they were on screen, how many golds they won, or you may also tell me how many gold medals Norway, who topped the medal table, won. Question 19 is the 5-parter, and it begins with 19A. The International Space Station is the most expensive man-made object ever, at more than $150 billion. It is often visible to the naked eye. Answer either one of the following. When was the first ISS component put into orbit? That is the year. Or how many different space agencies participate in the ISS program? 19B. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai has been the tallest structure in the world since its topping out in 2008, 10 years ago. The building was originally named, I still call it the Burj Dubai, the Burj Khalifa, yeah. The Burj Dubai was its original name, but it was renamed in honor of the ruler of Abu Dhabi and president of the UAE. How tall is it to the nearest 100 meters? 19C. The Öresund Bridge connecting Sweden and Denmark is the longest combined road and rail bridge. That is, it serves trains and cars. Answer either one of the following about it. Bridges. In what year did the Orson Bridge open? Or, completely on a different topic, in which country is the longest bridge of any kind in Europe? Question 19D. Concorde is one of only 2 supersonic transport planes jointly developed by France and the UK. It has a max speed over twice the speed of sound at Mach 2.04. In which year, ±1, was it discontinued? So the last technological feat is the Trans-Siberian Railway. It is the longest railway in the world, completed in 1916 and spanning over 9,000 kilometers. It takes 8 days to travel the whole line. For half a point each, name the 2 cities that lie at the ends of the Trans-Siberian Railway. So one at one end, one at the other end, name both for the whole point. Okay. Not going to do the hoopy playing. It's too late in the week for that. Ready for the answers? Hope you've taken a guess at everything you wanted to. Anyone who didn't do it on the other version, but for completeness. Question 1. Green Day's American Idiot came out in 2004. And didn't we all just listen to it continuously since then? Certainly it hung around for several years. Question 2. These countries are Bhutan, the Philippines, and Iceland. And I have to confess that I stole the inspiration for this question off the BBC quiz show Pointless. Shout out to that. It's a great show. Yeah. Very touristy to call your country the land of the Thunder Dragon, though. Question 3. The gluteus maximus is the largest muscle, so if you said that, you get the whole point. Or if you didn't get that, you could have told me that it's located in the ass, the bum, the bottom, the rump, the posterior, whatever word you're using, as long as it means that. Question 4. Donald Trump was inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame in 2013. He got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2007, and he was in 12 movies, including one in which he won the Golden Raspberry for Worst Supporting Actor, and they are Ghost Can't Do It, where he got his Golden Raspberry, Home Alone 2, The Little Rascals, Across the Sea of Time, Eddie, The Associate, 54, Celebrity, Zoolander, 2 Weeks Notice, and he had a deleted scene in Wall Street Money Never Sleeps. It was only on the DVD, but I've counted that in case you care. Question 5. Tienanmen Square Massacre. It killed 10,000 people. It was horrible. And there you go. Question 6. So originally I had name 2 of the actors, but I thought it was more interesting to do name the characters because Inception kind of did the rounds. It was one of those films that everyone was talking about for a while. Arthur Eames, Dominic, Dom, or Cobb, any of those would do fine. He's called by all of them. Ariadne, Yusuf, and Saito. They are the 6 characters who cooperate with dreaming. Yeah, it's a great film if you haven't seen it. I really enjoyed it. Just don't believe the hype. It's not, the greatest film ever made. But it's good. Question 7. This was a little bit mean of me. So the simultaneous equations question, you only need 2 equations, and I gave you 3. And the reason I did that is because the top 2 are actually the same equation, disguised, which means that if you try and use those 2 to solve the question, you will go round in circles. The only way to solve this is to use one of the top 2 and the bottom one, and then it will solve normally. So I was giving you an actively unhelpful piece of extra information. Anyway, x is -2 and y is -1. Question 8. This was the acronyms. We have the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, Médecins Sans Frontières, or Doctors Without Borders. I will accept the English name because it means that you knew what it stood for. And the BRICS. Originally it was just BRIC, which is Brazil, Russia, China, India, China, and recently South Africa has joined them. Question 9. The first miracle is water into wine. It's only mentioned in the Gospel of John, but it is the earliest miracle. Like everyone else's miracles occur later in Jesus' life. Question 10. The first one, we're looking for Captain Haddock after the fish. The other main characters are all named down at the bottom there, at least the English names. He's the same in all 3 languages for that one. For 10B, he's not the same in all the languages. You could have had Getafix for English, Panoramix for French, or Miraculix for Norwegian. And several other languages choose between those 3, although those 3 are the most common names. I don't think there's that many others. Question 11. The Large Hadron Collider. A hadron, it's a neutron. Those are hadrons. Hadrons are the heaviest type of particle. Protons are also hadrons, as well as a few things that are heavier than that, but they're not very stable. Question 12. The Ivory Coast is still the Ivory Coast, but the Gold Coast has changed its name to Ghana, and I've provided a map in case you want to know where Ghana is in the world. Yeah, decided it didn't want to be called the Gold Coast anymore. Question 13. Poison gas was used by both sides. The most famous ones are chlorine gas, mustard gas, and phosgene, or sometimes diphosgene gas. Question 14. Hong Kong was first occupied in 1842. Kowloon was taken in 1860, and most importantly, the new territories were claimed in 1898, and that was on a 99-year lease, which meant that we had to hand them over in 1997. We did. Probably too hard of a question. Question 15. The anagram, however, was not that difficult. It was just David Beckham. Question 16. It is now legal for pet dogs to live in Iceland, although you still need a permit. It was illegal up until 1984. It was a good 60-year span where it was illegal to have dogs for any reason. The other 2 are true. Guinea pigs are very social creatures and they can die of loneliness, so it's against the law to own a single guinea pig in Switzerland. And owning rabbits in Queensland, Australia is because rabbits are massive pests. And whilst they acknowledge there are some legitimate uses, companies can own them for scientific reasons, but an individual citizen can only own them if they are intending to use them for a magic show. Question 17. What year? This was 1922. Quite a long time ago. Fun story, when I was doing this one, we have 2 rounds at my live quiz, and the person who ran the first round, because I was doing the second this week, used the same year, so everyone got this one for free on the live round. Question 18. Russia, or not Russia as they were, they only got 2 gold medals, and Norway blitzed to a mighty 14, although Germany also had 14, but Germany had less silvers and bronze. Question 19A. The ISS's first component was launched in 1998, and 5 space agencies take part in the program. Question 19B. The Burj Dubai is 800 meters tall to the nearest 100 meters, 829.8. And that does include the flagpole, of course, as those things are included as long as they're a permanent fixture. That's why so many tall buildings have them. Question 19C. The Orson Bridge opened in the year 2000, but the longest bridge of any kind in Europe is in Portugal. The longest bridge of any kind in the world is in China and is monstrous. Question 19D. Concorde was retired in 2003, and there is a tolerance on this, so 2002, 2004 also fine. And last of all, 19E, the 2 cities are Moscow and Vladivostok. So hopefully you enjoyed the quiz. The musical accoutrement for this week was the Sweets Teenage Rampage, although I think they're actually just called Sweet, and I have just put a "the" in there because I made a mistake. Overall, it's been a pretty interesting week for me. Lots going on, hence the lateness of the video, but I figured that I should make the video for completeness, so here it is. I hope you enjoyed, and it won't be that long until the next video comes out, so look forward to that. Have a good week.